Welcome to Creating Disney Magic with Lee Cockerell. Lessons in leadership, management, and customer service. You can create magic too. I'm your host, Jody Mayberry, and of course, I'm here with Lee Cockerell, the retired executive vice president of Walt Disney World. Lee, sometimes I forget to give an introduction. I figure after 576 episodes, which that's the number of this episode, that people just know who you are. But
Yeah, they
I
should not.
also know we get new listeners who
Yeah.
maybe just don't know.
Well, good. So keep telling
Keep
them.
telling them. Well, I mentioned this is 576. Lee and I rarely ever talk about the number of the episode. The reason I'm doing it is when we did episode 500, we had a big celebration where we recorded it online. Anyone who wanted to come, we invited them to a virtual party that lasted, my goodness, like two and a half hours. And we had Jamie and JJ Eubanks from Magical Vacation Planner, and we just had a great time. But you may remember, Lee, that's what I had an infection and I couldn't, like Katie Kearns had to step in and do half the episode for me. So I say that because episode 500 was a big party. Episode 600 is within sight. And then Lee and I want to figure out what are we going to do to make episode 600 special? Perhaps something in person in Orlando, maybe something virtual again. We're open for ideas. If you have an idea, send it to us and we'll filter through ideas and come up with something fun and magical to do for 600 episodes. Because my goodness, Lee, like 11 years ago, when we started this, I would have never imagined it would still be going 11 years and closing in on 600 episodes.
I agree. It's been great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So reach out to leecockerell.com. I'm at jodymayberry.com and let us know. And I mentioned Jamie and JJ, so I'll just go right into Magical Vacation Planner. They have been a tremendous partner for, my goodness, 9 or 10 years. I'd have to look up to see how long we've been partnered with them, but it is a long time. A long time. You can reach Magical Vacation Planner at 407-442-2694 or go to leecockerell.com. There's a banner right there on the website. And they are fabulous. We've worked with them a quite a bit over the years. I've used their services a lot. We know them very well. Okay, Lee, I have a listener question about one of your favorite topics, time management.
Mhm.
And to give a little background, Lee became a self-proclaimed time management expert. And I say that for a reason, self-proclaimed, not to poke at Lee, but sometimes Lee has talked before. All you need to do to be an expert in something, read 4 books, know something more than the next guy, you're an expert. So Lee took a time management course, became a self-proclaimed expert, learned a little more, read a little more, started teaching it at Marriott, started teaching it at Disney. All right, Lee, this is not the listener question, but I'm fascinated by this. When you went from Disneyland Paris to Orlando, you started teaching time management to cast members as a way for them to get to know you. And I knew you taught it, but I didn't realize you taught it for them to get to know you. So I thought that was really fascinating as a way to do an introduction.
Well, I think the key to any leadership job is to get to know who the people are you're working with, and also let them get to know you, so that you kind of have a better relationship. They know your background, what you've done, what they could learn from you, and you learn more and more about them every time you can. So you'll know the best way maybe to help them, or to advise them, or to approach them. And time management is one of those courses that we all have the challenge of getting everything done, and probably creates more anxiety and stress than anything else in our life, is everything coming at us. I said, when you're a young person and you're single, and you're 17, you don't have much. You just go to school, you kind of go home. Your mom and dad take care of things pretty much. But next thing you know, then you're in college and you got all that to take care of. And then you close your eyes, open them, you're married. And then next day you got children, and then you've got a mother-in-law and father-in-law and parents getting older, and you're thinking about retirement and financials and how to what. I mean, it just literally it multiplies very quick, and all of a sudden people don't know how do you handle all this? Everything that I have no responsibility for now. You've got to think about that. And a lot of people don't handle it well. They ignore something. Maybe they don't stay in touch with their parents. Maybe they don't have a good savings plan and investment plan so they can get to retirement and be able to retire because they didn't make a note to go see a financial planner or somebody to help them think about it. I mean, just or their health. They didn't get to the doctor in the last 4 years because, well, time flies by and you have something and they could have taken care of it if you'd have got in earlier. So, I mean, it's just, there's not a subject in the world that doesn't get you in trouble if you don't look after it, take care of it, and pay attention to it. And I think you have to understand at the end of the day, the only person who can keep your life under control is you. Nobody else. Nobody else is going to do it like you can. If you understand that you have that responsibility and you understand the consequences if you don't do it. So just think about any part of your life that if you stop paying attention to it, what's going to happen? And it's just happens every day. People quit paying attention to maintenance on their house or their building. I was talking to Ricardo, my guy in Brazil yesterday, and he was about to go to a restaurant for lunch. And 30 minutes before he was to arrive there, the restaurant collapsed, killed one lady, and it was from deterioration from not doing maintenance and up in the attic and the rains that had done something to the roof. And boy, you talk about, maintenance on something you've got a fortune invested in. Those little things matter. I can tell you one thing, I hate to see a little leak in my ceiling because that all that says is there's something can get a lot bigger quicker. And this is something you want to take up right now, not 5 years from now when the whole roof falls down. And so that's how I think about it. When you got an issue in your life, you got to have a system like time management. And like even in my book, Time Management Magic teaches you exactly how to do it. And all it takes is for you to learn a new system, just like you learn systems in anything you do. You take courses, you learn how to do it, you become an expert in something, and time management is no different. As I tell people, you're not born disorganized. You become disorganized because you don't understand the concept of increasing responsibility. And as it increases, you haven't set up a system to take care of it so that you can add it to your list of responsibilities. And then you get them done and you check them off and you move on. And so it's just that simple. But it's hard for people to adopt a new system or to adopt a new routine in their life or to do the do the really hard important things when they need to be done. We kind of put those off, and the more we put them off, the bigger the problem is later. And so frankly, until I went to that, I was really suffering. I was having trouble getting my work done. I didn't know how to get organized. I didn't know how to delegate very well. And I had to learn all those things. And I was not very good in those days at doing the hard things, having a hard conversation with some employee or firing somebody or going jogging to keep my health. And, we all have 12 reasons why we won't do it today. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's raining. And the seminar, the philosophy of the seminar really woke me up because it made sense. There is growing responsibility depending on the kinds of decisions you make. If you didn't get married, you wouldn't have that responsibility. If you hadn't had kids, you wouldn't have that responsibility. You could narrow them down, but you get a promotion, got new responsibilities. Now you got people reporting to you. Now you got to spend time with them, and on and on and on and on and on. And it really, I believe, frankly, today it's probably the most important thing you can get set up in your life, so that everything else happens well. Because if you don't do it, you're going to have bad results. And really, what's more important than keeping your promises, doing what you say you're going to do, being reliable, being credible, it builds big trust, and it'll help your advancement, and it'll help anything you're working on, from raising your kids to taking care of your health. And you can be the person who found out too late, or you can do it now. And it's the same thing. Take the course, start doing it now, not later, now. Because now will be, tomorrow is coming fast. And your parents are getting older, your grandparents may be older. It's just, it's amazing how responsibilities pile up on us and how so many people ignore them, and then they have regrets. And when you have a regret, it's usually too late. So that's it. I love the concept. It helped me dramatically. I would say time management had more to do with my success in my career than anything else, because I was able to send that message to everybody that Lee's on the ball. He pays attention. He's doing the right things at the right time. And yeah, so yeah, that's it.
Well, I'll get to the listener question here in a moment, but let me say, if you have not got this under control yet, or taking a look at it, there we have the time management magic course. Go to cockerellstore.com. You can find it there. You can also find the book Time Management Magic. That is a great place to start. And I've heard the audio version of the book is just fantastic. That's the rumor out there anyway. Okay, so that takes us to the question, Lee, which everything you said works out really nicely for this. This is someone who read the book, really appreciates the tips, the habits to get everything under control. But he said, as much as I love the daytimer, I can't help but feel that the rest of the world has moved on digitally. What modern conversions or tools would Lee recommend to maintain the philosophies, but lean into the digital and even the AI space? Or is not moving digital part of the magic? So, two-part question. You recommend staying not digital, and if you go digital, you have tools to recommend.
Yeah, well, and it's again, I read articles all the time about this, and I can tell you, I still use pen and paper, and it's scientifically been proven that when you take a pencil and write, that it's you're more effective, that it enters your brain in a different way.
All right, hold on, Lee. You what? My internet messed up. You said start over with saying I read articles all the time. So start over there.
I'm gonna see if I can actually find one. Okay, let me start again here in a second. Just a second. This is perfect timing.
Good.
Okay. Let's see. So, we can work out where to put it. Let's see. Time management.
All right, I'm going to pause this record
Yeah,
over here.
yeah. Pause it just a second.
Okay. Okay, so as soon as I undo this, pick up with I read. You were talking about I read stuff, although you can pick up wherever you want. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So the point of do you go electronic or do you do handwritten? And a couple of reasons why. I would say most people have gone to an electronic solution to organizing their to-do lists and their follow-up. And if that works for you, I say like everything, if it works for you, great, do it. But what I found is having the day planner where I sit and I write and down that then sometimes when I'm on my phone and I want to look at my day timer while I'm talking to somebody about scheduling something or making a note or writing down some notes. And then just this week I read an article about that it's begin sign. And I knew this even before because my granddaughter and I discussed it years ago when she was in college that when you write, your memory is stronger. And that's why they even today find that kids in college that take notes by hand retain the information much longer than people who are typing it. And I don't know what that reasoning is, but I just read another article this week that said the same thing about using paper to do your daily plan and to write things down, and something about the formation of the words and the creativity you can have when you're writing and the notes. It just works better, and for me, it does. So you don't have to use anything as long as you're getting everything done. So I don't think it matters whether it's paper technology or if you're writing it on the wall. As long as you are happy, you're getting everything done, it's successful for you, and you don't have any regrets with not keeping up with all your responsibilities. Yeah.
I'll add a couple pieces here that I have tried going digital two or three times, and it just doesn't have the same impact because if I make a digital list, I don't remember what I put on the list. Where if
Yeah.
I write it down, I remember. Even if my planner or my notebook is not in front of me, I'm more likely to remember I have to do something.
Yeah. And it's fast. You can just pull this out of your pocket and
Yeah.
battery doesn't go down. And you don't need a connection. And I was just going to say, there's mine today of all the things I'm having to do and get done. And it's every day. It's crazy. And I think there's a good day. I was really busy that day.
Yeah, you were.
And so it's like I would try both. I think it's fine. Try one, try the other. I have many people who write to me and say they've gone back to a day timer. So, which is interesting because we all jump to the new technology and then we say we're not too happy. Well, no, it was better. The key is, can you get it done? Is it working for you? It doesn't matter. And I would say that with every technology coming forward, you know, just make sure, is it working for you? Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's the key. It doesn't matter if you use a day planner or a full focus planner or a blank notebook or a bullet planner. And it doesn't matter if you handwrite or it's your digital. As long as you find what works for you to implement the time management magic system, it really doesn't have to be. People do like using the same day planner that Lee uses. One of the reasons they like that is because it's what Lee teaches the system on. So it's becomes easier to make that part. Now, when it comes to digital tools, there are so many out there. I will say the ones I have tried, there have not been many. Trello's pretty good. We use that for some project management, and it allows you to keep track of things. So there are so many, it almost doesn't matter. Just find the one that works for you, and it'll work. My biggest digital time management tool is Google Calendar. I put everything in there. I'm very calendar driven. Yes, I write it down, but I also put it in the calendar because that allows me to put in notes. Like if I'm about to have a call with Lee and I there's something I want to talk about, maybe I'll put it in the calendar. If I have a doctor's appointment and I've not been there before, I put the address in Google Calendar so I can just hit it on my phone. So I have found just finding the things you're already using, but using them better than you're using them now also helps a lot. So I don't know if that answers the question, go digital or stay handwritten. It just matters whether or not it works for you. I think that's the right answer.
And the one thing I learned in that course, he said, schedule the priorities in your life or they won't get done.
Yes, that's right. And Lee talks about this in the book, in the course, in the Main Street Leader. When you schedule an appointment for yourself, keep it just like it's an appointment you made with anybody else. Do not break the commitments you put in your calendar for yourself and your family.
Yeah.
All right. If you have a topic or a question you want us to talk about, reach out to either one of us. We always enjoy bringing listener questions on the show. Until next week, go out and create magic for others.